Welcome to this deep dive. You know, it often feels like the world is just conspiring to overwhelm us, doesn't it?
Mm.
The constant thing of notifications, emails flooding in, social media. It's relentless. Just demands for our attention everywhere.
It's a very common feeling these days. That
Mhm.
sense of being pulled in all directions, constant pressure.
And you start to wonder, is this just how life is now? This feeling stretched so thin?
Well, yes, that's the question, isn't it? But what if?
Hmm.
What if that feeling, that chaotic pressure, isn't the whole picture?
Okay.
What if there's another way to look at this whole experience of, stress?
I'm interested. What are you thinking?
From a Buddhist perspective, we might start talking about something called Maya.
Maya.
Yes, often translated as, well, illusion. The idea is that a lot of what we perceive as our stressful reality,
Yeah.
it's actually a projection, something coming from inside our own minds.
An illusion.
Yeah.
That's quite a big thought. So you're saying when I'm looking at this huge pile of work, the stress I feel, it's not actually in the work itself.
The tasks themselves, they're sort of neutral, just things to be done. It's
Mhm.
our minds, you see, that layer on all the interpretations.
Like what?
Like, this is urgent, this is incredibly important, what if I fail? It's often driven by our attachments, our fears. Maybe just misunderstanding what's really happening in this moment.
Okay. Attachment and fear. How do they connect to feeling overwhelmed?
Well, attachment could be clinging to a certain outcome, right?
Yeah.
Like needing things to go exactly as planned, or maybe wanting approval from others.
Yeah, I can see that.
And when those rigid expectations clash with, how things actually are, because life is fluid, isn't it? That friction creates tension. And we feel that tension as stress.
Right. It's like we're setting ourselves up for a fight by gripping so tightly onto how things should be. You
Exactly.
used an image once that stuck with me. The ocean. Something about the surface versus the depths.
Ah, yes. Think of the ocean surface. It can be choppy, turbulent waves crashing everywhere. That's a bit like our everyday mind, constantly reacting to emails, news, demands, all the external stuff.
Makes sense. Busy.
Very busy. Those thoughts and reactions can feel really powerful, like big waves. But deep down, miles below the surface,
Yeah.
there's this immense stillness, calm, stable. That deep part represents our, let's say, true nature. It's serene, untouched by all the surface chaos.
So the goal then is to somehow connect with that deep stillness, even when life surface is really rough.
Precisely. It's about learning to recognize that those stormy thoughts and feelings on the surface, they're like the waves, they come and go. They aren't the whole of who we are.
That brings to mind the story of Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, under the Bodhi tree. He faced a lot of inner turmoil, right?
Yeah.
Mara.
Yes, exactly. The stories tell of Mara, who's really a symbol of delusion, temptation. Mara threw everything at him: fears, doubts, desires.
Wow.
But the Buddha's breakthrough was just observing it all. He saw these thoughts, these fears as they arose. He didn't fight them, didn't get caught up in them, didn't believe they were solid or real.
He just watched them.
He watched them, recognized them as fleeting illusions like clouds passing. And because he didn't cling to them, didn't identify with them, they lost their power. And that's how he reached enlightenment.
So, connecting that to us, when my phone buzzes nonstop, or I have a deadline breathing down my neck, and my mind starts spinning, I'm going to mess this up, I'm so behind, those thoughts are kind of like our modern Mara.
In a way, yes. They're temporary mental events, those waves on the surface. They rise, they seem emergent, then they pass. The real challenge is not getting swept away by them.
And that's where awareness comes in. Mindfulness, watching thoughts like clouds.
Exactly that. Mindfulness is about cultivating this
Yeah.
non-judgmental attention, paying attention to what's happening right now in this moment,
Without trying to fix it or push it away.
without trying to grab onto it or push it away, just noticing. When we watch our thoughts and emotions like this as they come and go, we start to see they aren't so solid, less threatening.
Like clouds, you said. They have a shape, but they drift on by.
And it's not about stopping thoughts. That's impossible, really. It's about changing our relationship to them, seeing them as mental weather, not absolute truth.
It's amazing how relevant this ancient idea feels right now. And the science is catching up too, isn't it? Showing real benefits.
Oh, absolutely. There's a growing body of research. Studies show that practicing mindfulness can actually lead to measurable changes. Things like lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone.
Really?
Yes, and improved focus, better concentration, even changes in the brain itself. Activity shifts towards areas involved in emotional regulation, like the prefrontal cortex, and away from the amygdala, which is like our internal alarm system.
So it literally helps us respond more calmly.
That's what the evidence suggests, rewiring for a calmer response.
Okay, So for someone listening, feeling that overwhelm right now, what's a simple, practical first step, something they could do today?
A really accessible place to start is just pausing. The moment you notice that feeling creeping in, that tension, that racing mind, just stop for a second.
Just stop.
Just stop and take 3 deep breaths slowly. Really pay attention to the feeling of the breath.
Like how it feels physically.
Exactly. The cool air coming in your nose,
Mm.
your chest or belly rising, the warmth as you breathe out, just those physical sensations. It grounds you right back in the present moment.
And that helps break the cycle.
It can interrupt that immediate stress reaction, creates a little space.
It's a powerful shift, isn't it? Realizing stress isn't just happening to us from the outside. It's generated, or at least amplified, inside our minds.
Precisely.
Which means we actually have some say in how we react. More power than we think, maybe.
That shift in perspective is fundamental. Seeing stress not as an enemy attacking you, but maybe as information, a signal from your own internal system.
You mentioned kintsugi before, the Japanese art of repairing pottery with gold. How does that relate?
Kintsugi.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful metaphor. It teaches that breaks, imperfections, even our struggles like stress, they don't make something worthless. Quite the opposite. By highlighting the cracks with gold lacquer, the repaired piece becomes unique, more beautiful, even more valuable because of its history, its brokenness.
So our cracks from stress, they can be opportunities.
Opportunities for healing, definitely, for growth, for building resilience. The stress reveals where we might need strengthening, and the healing makes us, in a way, more whole.
So it comes back to our relationship with the chaos. The emails, the deadlines, they aren't necessarily the problem, it's how we relate to them.
That's the heart of it.
And by drawing on this kind of wisdom, we can maybe navigate this digital age with a bit more grace. Find some inner harmony, even when things outside are messy.
That really captures it. The peace we're looking for isn't about escaping the world. It's about finding our center within it.
We've talked about how our minds shape this feeling of chaos. Now, how do we actively, cultivate that inner harmony we're seeking?
Well, one very powerful way is through engaging mindfully in the rituals. Yes, for centuries, Buddhist monks, for example, have used daily rituals, not just for religious reasons, but as core practices to foster inner balance and really connect with the present moment.
When I hear rituals, I sometimes think of really elaborate ceremonies. Is that what you mean? Or something else?
It can be broader than that.
Yeah.
In this context, think of rituals as practices you do with intention and repetition.
Okay. Intention and repetition.
They're deliberate acts, ways to anchor the mind, nourish the spirit. And the wonderful thing is they're accessible. You don't need to live in a monastery to bring them into your life.
Can you give us a sense of how these rituals work in monastic life? What kinds of things?
Well, a monk's day might revolve around things that seem quite ordinary. Preparing tea, but doing it with complete focus. Walking meditation, just walking slowly and paying attention. Chanting, yes, but also mindful work, like gardening or cleaning.
So even chores can be rituals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What makes them rituals is the presence you bring to them. The reverence for the task itself, however mundane. It's not about doing it perfectly, but about being fully there while you're doing it.
Yeah.
The Japanese tea ceremony is maybe a famous example. Every single movement is precise, mindful. It turns drinking tea into meditation.
That really makes you think, when was the last time I actually just savored my coffee? Without scrolling on my phone or planning the day.
Exactly.
But just took a walk to walk, not just to get somewhere.
Those simple moments hold so much potential power. They remind us that peace isn't somewhere else. It's available right here in the middle of our ordinary lives.
Okay, so how do we bring this idea of mindfulness rituals into our lives, especially when they feel so busy already?
There are many simple ways. A really effective one is morning meditation. It doesn't have to be long, even 5 minutes. Just sitting quietly, focusing on your breath. When your mind wanders, which it will,
Oh, it definitely will.
you just gently bring your attention back, again and again. It sets a calmer tone for the whole day.
5 minutes? That feels doable. What else?
Maybe digital detox breaks. Setting aside specific times, maybe just 10-15 minutes to completely unplug.
Ooh, tricky but needed.
And use that time to reconnect with yourself. Read a book, a real one, journal, or just sit quietly.
Good idea.
Then there's mindful eating, turning mealtime into a ritual.
How so?
Before you start, just pause. Maybe feel a little gratitude for the food. Then eat slowly. Really taste it. Notice the textures, the smells. It helps digestion, sure, but it also deepens appreciation.
I can see how that would change things, less shoveling food in while distracted.
Right. And walking meditation. You can do this anywhere. On a short walk, shift your focus from getting somewhere to just the feeling of walking.
The feet on the ground.
Your feet on the ground, your body moving, the air on your skin. Look around without labeling everything. Just notice. It's a great break from mental chatter.
Turning a walk around the block into something grounding.
And one more. An evening reflection. Just a few minutes before sleep, gently think back on the day. What went well? What was challenging? Not judging, just noticing. You could journal it or just sit quietly. It helps process things.
It sounds like the key is doing these things consistently, even if they're small.
Exactly. Consistency is what builds the anchor. These small, repeated rituals train us. They teach us to slow down, pay attention, and actually find some joy in the process, not just rushing towards the next outcome.
And there's a reason why this works, right? Something about the brain.
Yes, there's neuroscience behind it. Our brains love habits. When we do something intentionally and repeatedly, we strengthen the neural pathways for it.
Okay.
So practicing these mindful rituals basically makes calm and focus more accessible over time. We're literally training our brains to be more present and less easily hijacked by stress.
Is there research backing that up specifically?
Well, yes. For example, one study found that about 30 minutes of daily mindfulness meditation helped reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, even pain.
Wow, 30 minutes.
Another research, from Harvard, I believe, showed that regular meditation can actually increase gray matter density
Really? Where?
in brain areas linked to things like learning, memory, and importantly, emotional regulation.
So, tangible changes in the brain, that's compelling, but it feels like there's more to it than just brain chemistry, a human element.
Absolutely. Rituals tap into something deep in us. They can connect us to something bigger than just ourselves and maybe a sense of tradition or purpose. They provide structure, continuity, meaning, especially when the world feels uncertain.
That sense of stability.
Yes.
Yes.
And they remind us that we do have agency. We can consciously shape our inner experience.
Do you know anyone who's actually put this into practice, seen real changes?
Yes. I remember working with someone, let's call her Sarah, high pressure marketing job, always feeling stressed.
Sounds familiar.
She started really small, just 5 minutes of meditation each morning, then gradually added a few other things, trying to eat lunch mindfully, taking short screen breaks, doing that little evening reflection.
And what happened?
Over several months, she described this real shift, a noticeable increase in just general calm, better focus at work, even during crunch times. But more than that, her whole outlook started to change. She realized happiness wasn't something out there to chase, but something she could actually cultivate moment by moment.
That's really inspiring. So, for listeners wanting to try this, how do they start creating their own rituals?
The key is making them personal. What resonates with you? Try to be consistent with time and place if you can. It helps build a habit, but don't be rigid.
Okay.
When you're doing your ritual, try to be fully present. Focus on the sensations, what you're feeling, without judging it. Start simple. Don't try to add 5 new hour-long practices at once.
Right. Keep it manageable.
And be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Celebrate the small steps, the fact that you're even trying. Progress over perfection.
So it's not about adding more to do, but shifting how we do things. Finding presence within our existing day.
That's it, exactly. Rituals are a way to step off autopilot, to consciously reclaim your mind, your attention. They're little reminders sprinkled through the day that even when everything feels rushed, you always have the choice to pause, to breathe, to reconnect with yourself.
That's a really empowering thought. So maybe the question for everyone listening is, what's one small ritual you could introduce, maybe even today, and just imagine, how might that one small anchor start to change how you handle stress down the road? The potential seems, well, it seems to be right there within us.
It truly does. And remembering it's a journey, always unfolding. It's not about avoiding the storms, but learning how to navigate them with a bit more wisdom, more inner strength.
Final provocative thought, just consider this for a second. How even the smallest, most ordinary moment, maybe sipping your tea, feeling your feet on the floor if you approach it with your full awareness, just for that moment, how that can become this quiet act of self-care, a little pocket of peace in a busy day. What single mindful breath could you take right now that might just shift things, even slightly?